would you unpack for us actually what marketing really is and how it relates into business strategy?
There's two interpretations. One, what it really is, and one, what most people think it is. And this is what the research is finding as well. Look, the marketing is in its name, market. So it's about bringing the force of the market back into the organization and getting congruency there between what the organization is producing and selling and what the market actually wants. That's dynamic, that changes over time. Obviously, that's very multifaceted, but the more divergent you are from that, the harder it is generally your business is to reach its commercial goals. The closer you are, and the best businesses in the world do this. Amazon, if you listen to anything Jeff Bezos says, very much it's all about the consumer, that's all they care about. The point is, at its very essence, it's about the force of the market. Now, the issue with that and why this causes so much friction is that challenges the internal culture of the organization and egos and people's assumptions internally, because you're working in this sort of little bubble, we call it, and you can suffer from Ivy Tower syndrome, where you're sort of just peering down, you think you know what's going on, but because you're so disconnected from the market, you can make really bad decisions unknowingly often as well. And then you've got a layer of politics, which, incentives, but we won't go there. The point is, bring the force of the market back into the organizations. That kind of comes through three departments, most specifically, marketing, sales, and customer service, or frontline sort of people who deal with the customers. They're the people who have the most raw interaction with the end customer, and for that reason, probably have the best sort of ear to the ground about what's working, what isn't. It's just about listening to those people who are listening to the customer and bring that back into decision making. Now, most people think marketing, and it has been box-holed more generally, I think, and I've been researching the history on this, which is actually really fascinating. Over time, the media expenditure was a very large line item, and then that has sort of skewed the function towards what I'd call sort of advertising or promotions. Advertising is a subset of promotions, but it's been very much focused on that 1P. Now, if you go back more pre-1960s, it's a bit more balanced, the 4Ps or 5Ps, or whatever you want to call it. And this still happens in some companies, but there's always this interplay between product, pricing, promotions, and distribution or place. Good marketing that works is a complex system of those variables, and they all interrelated. They all have to work together. So if you just isolate one of them away and call it promotions, and then load all your expectations of performance onto one and disconnect that from the others, it's going to be very risky and not very successful. And I think that's what people get wrong. I just forgot to mention, what I was trying to explain there is what we call market orientation. And great marketing is a very, very simple switch of perspective within the culture of the entire firm. One that is internal, inside out, like, hey, we've got this thing, we've got this awesome product, let's sell it. Versus outside in. Understanding a market, what do they want? What triggers them? What are the buying situations? Like, where are they? What do they do? What other things are they purchasing? Who are they purchasing it with? Like, where, when, why, how? And then bring that back in the organization, use that to your advantage. And you'll notice this with just even very simple things, like an executive writing something on social media. They can just assume that people are interested in things because they're interested in it. And it's just understanding who your audience is and what they want and reverse engineering that. It's so simple, but no one does it by default.